Hey everyone, so today we are going to look at some updates in Welcome to Bloxburg that changed the entire gameplay for me and a lot of other players. So let's get right into the video. So in this form, you can only go back to update 0.7.5, so I'll start with the older ones that completely changed the gameplay. And let's start with, of course, a very simple one, but we all needed that, and that is ceiling lights. So before we had ceiling lights, all we had were, when you went to lighting, all we had were these garden lamps, and then some other floor lamps. I think we also had this one, the below floor lamp. That was basically it, and we had to manage and get around with doing just basically floor lamps and hiding them behind the couch and stuff like that. And then next up is advanced placing, continuing on the light situation. So we didn't have advanced placing, and it was a hell to build stuff. I know there's still a lot of people without the advanced placing game pass, but once you get used to that, it's so useful. And before that, I used to want to build something and it didn't work out. And building was so hard back then, it was crazy. And still remaining in the lighting, oh my god, when the lighting update changed everything. Like, we used to all have institutional white lights, or most of us had institutional white lights, and it was nice. And then the lighting update came and every house just looked like a bright thing that you could see from space, and it was terrible. And we had to find out new colors to use with our lighting. I tend to use linen and light orange. This house was made in light orange, but honestly, I kind of miss the days where you could just paint every light white and it was easy and simple like that. So some updates were not for the better, but they had to be done because Roblox changed some stuff. Going into, and I don't know if this is actually in the list yet, going to one of the bedrooms, the closet update, or the update where you could change your clothes and have many outfits. A lot of people don't really think about that anymore, but there are a lot of people with different outfits. And the fact that you can shop on Bloxburg and not spend any Robux and just work for it, like, who would ever buy this for Robux? But why not buy it in the game? I mean, it is amazing. And I just love the fact that you can buy stuff in Bloxburg and then test it out, and even go to the website and add your own asset ID. So if you find something that you want to try out, you can just buy it in Bloxburg first. So that's just an amazing thing that they added into the game. And now I think I'm going to start going through the list of updates that we have, because there's not much that I can remember from before. I remember the ceiling lights being a really big thing, and then the floor pass and stuff like that, but that's all just like stuff that we're so used to right now that it's not even special anymore, even though if we didn't have it would be weird. But let's go into the update logs. Added more food, commercial appliances. No, that was not an update that you would remember or that changed the game a lot. Gardening skills, several plants. That update 0.7.6. I was so excited for that, but now looking back at it, I am so angry that you cannot have any flowers anymore. If I want to put a tulip or something like that, a half an hour later it will say, oh, your plant started withering, and then you need like a garden sprinkler or you need to water it. People had like really cute gardens with flowers and stuff like that, and they made patterns with colors, so they added a lot of tulips on a hill or something like that, and then they had just a nice flower thingy, a flower garden. And now if you do that, you have to add sprinklers everywhere, and it's just not fun anymore to have flowers. And the fact that you can grow them and level up is fun. And the lemon trees definitely changed a lot of the game because they had to be patched and stuff like that, but I am still salty about the flowers. So that update changed a lot about the game. A lot of people got a lot of money from the lemon trees or the apple trees, whatever you grew, but then the fact that your flowers wither is so annoying. 7.7 was a small update. It was the 1 billion visits trophy with the streaks that were added. Now, I don't think a lot of people still pay attention to those streaks. Of course, it's fun when you get them, but I don't think a lot of people really do their streaks anymore. I could be wrong, but that's me. 0.7.8 re-added fireworks. The Buildos tool, very useful, but they did remove, and I'm kind of happy that they did remove that. There used to be a button where you could erase your data, and a lot of people thought I would erase your house, but it actually erases everything. So from money, levels, everything that you did basically got deleted, and a lot of people didn't know that, so they just did that and then started over with the starter house and were like, hey, what just happened? I lost all my levels, I lost all my money and all my block bucks, which I paid for. So they had to remove that button because there was a lot of problems with that. But I'm glad with the Buildos button, it's very easy to just go into build mode and Buildos your house. I don't actually want to Buildos that one. And then options, you can choose what you want to keep, what you want to delete. So a very easy thing to delete your house with. And talking about that, I almost forgot to mention it, but before the job update, so at work, you could could only have one job and then you level up really far and then you're done with that job and you wanted to change, you had to actually change jobs and start over. And then if you wanted to go back to, let's say for example, I did pizza delivery and I wanted to be a miner, I had to quit pizza delivery and become a miner. And if I wanted to go back to pizza delivery, I had to start back from level 1, so that wasn't fun. And I'm glad that they added the fact that you can do multiple jobs now, which is such a good thing. I'm literally so happy about that. Oh, imagine losing all your levels now. Then 0.8.0 had the thing where you can go up to 5 stories now instead of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the highest story. Now I don't feel like a lot of people are using the 5th story, or I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it's more of a gimmick than actually something that people use. I haven't seen a lot of 5-story builds. I feel like most people go up to the 3rd story, and maybe the 4th story is useful for if you want to add decorations to your roof or something like that. But I haven't seen a lot of people actually build up that tall, unless you're Daniel Perkins or something who does like crazy builds that they spend 2 weeks on. But not a lot of people I've seen go up to the 4th and the 5th floor. But it is a useful thing to have, and I'm happy that we have it. And then of course something I use a lot, and that came in, let me check. That came in update 0.8.5, and that is the ability to change your roof properties. And as you can see, I did that with the ground over here. I went into the basement level. Basements is also an update that changed the game, although not as much as I was hoping for. I don't feel like a lot of people use their basements. Well, you can't really see them, so we don't really know. But I don't know if, do you guys use your basement? I really wonder, do you use a basement? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I use it a lot to landscape and create like mountainy areas just to add some volume to my plot. I really love that tool. So what you do is you go into build mode and then you click on your roof that you want. So usually what I go for is, well, let me find the roofs first. So I go for the mansard roof here, and then I go into the lowest level and I just create a little pattern that looks natural. Let me just create a quick shape right here. Something like this. I drag it upwards. I play a bit around. Also, if you click your placement grid, you can change how many dots it like changes when you drag it. So this is really fluent. And then if you go back to the 4 squares, it's kind of like stuttery. And then I just usually place it and paint it in a color that I want. And then I created my landscaping just like that. But you can do that for roofs as well. So you can just adjust the height. As you can see, I did that over here. And I feel like it just looks amazing and I love it. And then we go to the latest updates. I feel like the latest updates definitely added a lot of changes to the game for builders, which is amazing. The fact that you can now place everything that you want on the ground is just so amazing. If I want books on the ground, I can do that. If I scroll down a bit and I see something that I just want to place on the ground, let me find something that you normally couldn't place on the floor. For example, this small plant, I can now place that on the floor as well, and it just counts for everything. And I'm so happy about that, because we definitely needed something to like be able to place stuff on the ground. It also works on stairs. So if you want to add decorations to stairs, you can definitely do that. So if I want to put a plant here, I can go ahead and place my plant, which is so amazing, and I love that so much. And then the beams. I'm gonna go to Twitter for that one. The beams have changed building so much in a way that I couldn't have dreamt of. I was playing together with a friend and we were like joking around, like, what if we had beams now that we have the ropes? And then I suggested it to Queptus and he actually agreed with the idea. And I didn't know that so many creative ideas would come from it. If you look at Daniel Perkins' build right here, he built an entire castle using the beams, and it's just, the possibilities are amazing. And I feel like it added so much to the game that we couldn't have before. You can now build in all the styles that you want, basically. Let me see if I can find the Bloxburg Tesla that I saw earlier. Yes, there we go. So someone built a custom car, and it's just like, you can't use it, but it's nice that you can do it. And the custom chair designs, Floaty is definitely having a lot of fun with the custom chairs. You can make so much stuff with the new beams. It is amazing what you can do. And then of course, a lot of people create animals as well, just like with microwaves. Looks like a lot of fun. And now staying with Float, because he did have a lot of fun with this and he has the most amazing ideas. He created a fake family, and but I'm looking for something else that he did. This one. This is his best build ever. And I just love it so. Okay, on to the next one. Oh, and I had to show this build by Alex. Amazing. I don't even know what to say with this one. I just love that so much, that style. And wow, I am shook. Do you even say that still? I'm so old. And of course, some honorable mentions are the fence gates. Definitely changed a lot to the gameplay. The baby update wasn't as big as I thought it would be. I thought it would bring a lot of new players to the game and more role plays, but I'm actually not disappointed that it didn't happen. But I definitely definitely thought a lot more would have changed with the baby update, but the fact that we can make baby rooms now is just amazing, especially like for builders. The baby update was useful as well because now we have something else to fill our rooms with, so that's a lot of fun. And there's probably a lot more updates that I'm forgetting right now, but I think I went over most of them. I think my favorite ones are the basement update, the roof update, since we can do so much with landscaping and stuff now, and then the beams, love them so much. The possibilities with them are endless. Also with the lights, you can just create your own light stuff right now, and I just love it so much. Like, it changes so much to the gameplay, it's actually insane. And then updates that I hated most were of course still the parking garage. Still not happy with that one. And one of the later ones, and that is gardening. Like, I was excited at the time because we did have a lot of new stuff like sunflowers and all, but looking back at it and having withering flowers, not being able to have any flowers anymore and be careful with like what plants that you use, I don't know, man, kind of ruined the whole garden aesthetic game for me. So yeah, there's that, and I'm gonna keep it at this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything that you really liked, an update that you really loved, or an update that you really hated, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. And please, subscribe.